What's up, everybody? Welcome into Studio Day Jefre. It's good to see you. Joe Hoyt's going to be with me in just a few minutes. You know, Officer Joe Hoyt from the Dallas Morning News constantly has things he's got to do, probably busting somebody right dang now. We are going to do a alternating mock draft. I texted him literally 15 minutes ago, and I said, I'm thinking about just hopping on and doing a stream. You want to do a stream? And he said, sure. And so he's going to do it. And I said, what do you want to do? Because I could just sit here and talk to the chat all night. But he said, I love a good alternating mock draft. And I said, let's get it. We'll go from 1 to 20. That'll be good. But anything else that anybody wants to talk about as it pertains to the Cowboys in the draft, you just fire it into the chat and we can talk about whatever. We can talk about the Cowboys 30 visit list, seeing Malik Muhammad on it, Texas corner, that they had a nice little visit with him over the last few days. That's nice. I think he's a candidate, third round, give or take, third or fourth. I think he's a nice little corner there in the mid rounds. But anything you guys want to talk about Cowboys draft, that's what we're here to do, okay? It's ADHD Cowboys. Any thought that you have, any thought that I have is what's going to get fired at you. Somebody said, whose idea was it to invite a cop over while you're on drugs? Popo Joe's going to be fine. Best not to worry about it, okay? Somebody wants me to go get them David Bailey. Somebody noticed the Cloud Strife right here. Final Fantasy. It'll be Tell Him Something, Joe. Clarence did not give me the full list, Joseph, and I don't think Clarence remembers the full list. But yeah, Clarence Hill said at the owners' meetings he did see the Cowboys 30 visit list. He said it on the air and then immediately forgot that he said it. And when we asked him about it, forgot that he saw it. So that's great. Marky said, Jeff, what's up, bro? We need dogs on defense. I believe Muhammad will be here. And he does have a little dog to him. Malik Muhammad's a fun one. Watching him mix it up on like play 2 of the Ohio State game, and him and Jeremiah Smith are getting into a tussle. And Jeremiah Smith is every bit of 6'4", 225. If you want it with him, you want it with anybody. Anybody. For Captain Trade Down, what are the scenarios where you're cool trading up from 12? Super Chat's disabled, Jeff. I don't know what's happening with that. I swear on everything, they should be turned on. What is happening? How to check my Super Chat settings on YouTube. I swear on everything. That tab, let me not tell you guys what all I'm looking at right here. It's top secret stuff. That tab, okay, that tab, this thing. That's going to take more time. Yes, turn that. Oh, wait. Yeah. Hold on. Go back. I do think I see it. Why is that turned off? Turn that on. Turn everything on. So there has been changes on the, Jeff, you need to read all comments, not just Super Chats. When they're churning and burning, dude, that's just not possible. If one of them gets my attention and I think it'll contribute to the show and I don't have Super Chats firing up, then I'll do regular chats. You guys know that, right? You know that I'll do that. All right. It doesn't say that I need to hit save or anything. My supers should be enabled. Should be. Browns GM said they were very open to trading down ideal picks at 6 and 39, assuming. Tell me how the top 5 goes, because I actually saw the Cowboys nightmare scenario. I think it was somebody just tweeted it to me and they said, what would you do if this was how the first 11 picks of the draft went? And they named 11 players. I bet that I can remember them, and I bet I can share the screen and do this and show you the scenario they gave me. And I was like, oh my God, you found the worst scenario, didn't you? So let me make sure I can figure out how to share this screen on a mock thingy. Is it this one? Share screen. This one. Share. Okay. So the one that somebody suggested to me, and they said, if it goes like Mendoza was one of them, Reese was one of them, Love was one of them, Styles was one of them, Bain was one of them. Don't worry about where I'm putting them. I'm just getting all the names that this person sent. The top offensive lineman's one of them, Downs, Delane, the top receiver, and I haven't given one yet, right? So it's that one. And then at 11, what am I missing? Oh, Jermod McCoy was the other one. They said Delane and McCoy. And this is what you're left with when the Cowboys are at 12. What do you do? The answer is you click that trade tab and the Ravens want to come up to 14 and you take the trade. That's the answer. because I think the name that I would go for if I were the Cowboys and you got to 12 in this scenario with those 11 names gone, I think I end up picking Akeem Messidor. If you're making me pick a defensive player, if you are going straight off your board, no, I don't take Messidor. You know who I take? I take Terrell. My first round grades that would be left in this scenario are Jordan Tyson, Mekhi Lemon, Spencer Fano, and Avion Terrell. Stop saying Terrell. Terrell. Avion Terrell. And 3 offensive players. That's what I'm left with. Y'all got to refresh. Supers are working. Yeah, I turned them on. I turned them. Terrell. And so if I'm going to take my first round, only defensive first round player left, I'm taking a smallish corner who just ran a 4.6 because he tweaked his hammy running. Like, we're just in a spot where you want out of this pick so bad. Or at least I do. And so now, yeah, in that scenario, who do the Ravens want? Watch me trade with them real quick. You give me 14, 12, flip me 45 for 92. No? Flip me 45 for 92. What do you think you're going to get to trade me for? How about 12 for 14? You give me 80 for 92 and you throw in 115. I get a 3 and a 4 to move down 2 spots. If you don't think that's enough, then in theory, we traded for a next year pick. Let's see. Who do they want? Yeah, they wanted one of my first round graded players, Spencer Fano. And then CJ Allen is gone. And now you're just left with the exact same names that I would be choosing from. Unless you're willing to take Fano, you're not going to play him at guard. I guess in theory you could if you want to move Tyler Smith to left tackle, which I don't want to do. But if you think he could play right tackle, could I call somebody and trade Terrence even though I just altered his contract? I don't know. Maybe. So yeah, anyway, that was the nightmare scenario that I saw. And I wanted you guys to have to share in it. And so now you have. Let's get rid of that. Stop sharing the screen. Goodbye. Welcome back. Draft show today had some good nuggets. That's good. We love a good nugget. I'm taking the wide receiver. Yeah, what we just ran into is a scenario where either you're trying really hard to trade down or you start asking if you're going to trade George Pickens. Put it in the DLLS Discord, but had a very Cowboys content creator draft. What does that mean? Oh, you want to see the best draft I've ever seen for the Cowboys? Hold on. Let's bring on Popo Joe. Popo Joe's here. Hold on. Let me get this. Whoop, like that. Bang. What's up, Popo Joe?
What's up, dude? Blurp, blurp. That's Popo Joe. How you doing?
I think I have, let me see if I still do. I think my little audio board may have a Joe button on it.
Oh, what?
Let me see. No, I had to tell him something, Joe, but I guess when you quit and you turned your back on all of us, I guess I replaced that. May be what I replaced with this one.
When the ducks quack, feed them.
I mean, hey, I like that one as an Oregon guy, so I'll take that I'll take it. That could be my drop. That's fine.
I was just showing everybody the nightmare scenario that somebody sent to me, but now I also want to find this one. I want to share with everybody my favorite mock I've ever seen. And when people say predictive, they're trying to be right. Like I can do a mock where I pick who I pick, but if you're doing predictive, you're trying to say at this point, this is me trying to be right. And so I want to show you the one that I saw on Underdog real quick. Ooh. Share screen.
Is this nightmare or good?
No, this is dream. All right, can everybody see that? I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'll just tell you if you can't see it well enough. The Cowboys at number 12 get Caleb Downs. And at number 20, they get Akeem Messidor. Oh, that's banging right there.
I just did a video talking about Akeem Messidor. I think that edge rusher is going to be something. I think their 3 priorities are nickel corner, edge rusher, and inside linebacker heading into 12 and 20 and 92. I think they want those 3. I mean, obviously it's not a hidden secret, but I think edge rusher is more of a priority than we thought originally. They want another one. So
yeah, isn't that dangerous though? Not just the fact that they don't have enough, but if you think that the solution to your pass rush is going to be a rookie, that's kind of scary. Like, even if you said that the solution to your pass rush was going to be a rookie and you had a top 6 pick, I'd be like, okay, who are we talking about? Because Arvell Reese, obviously, I think he's going to be a linebacker that learns to pass rush and does a little bit of it. David Bailey, I could get with you a little bit, but I do think that the transition for a guy, I'm not calling him a one-trick pony. I'm saying David Bailey is also not a sure thing that as a rookie, he's going to go get you 8, 9, 10 sacks. And the guy I might bet on the most is actually Reuben Bain. But that just seems dangerous to me.
I think you're right. I think you're right too, because I mean, even look at last year, right? Like we were talking about, Carter as a guy like, okay, 10, 11 sacks, he'll be a fantastic player, right? Even Donovan Ezeraku, someone that had in college every single tool in the tool belt when it came to pass rush moves and stuff like that. We just didn't know how he would do in secondary pass rush moves, which he's still trying to develop. And how many sacks did he have last year? I mean, literally Bobby Belt had to shave his head because, he didn't hit the mark that some people expected. So
yeah.
I mean, I think like Akeem Mesidor, if we're talking about instant impact guys, I think the two Miami edge rushers might be the safest in terms of edge rushing. I love Arbel Reese's potential. David Bailey's get off is incredible. God, watching him in pro day, man, I was like blown away just how quick he gets off the ball and starts going. But I mean, those are still tools that need to be refined. I think Mesidor and Bain, whether it's 12 or 20 or both speaking, might be your best option.
Somebody wanted you to know, Joe, that your pool comment was topped on DLLS. I don't think it was topped. I think it was tied. It was a tie.
Do I get, is it tied or do I get an edge because I had remorse immediately, whereas the other person in question here didn't even recognize the fact that he said it?
You might get the edge still just because yours was a full sentence and his was just a word.
Yeah.
So I do think that you're still the crown jewel of F-bombs on a DLLS product.
Can I give you points though for something really quick? Because you were so quick to be, hey, Clarence, what are you doing? But right when the boss man comes in, you're like, oh, didn't hear a thing. Yeah. I was like, you know what? That is a true friend. That's a ride or die right there. And I had a lot of appreciation for that.
Yeah, I think you have to lie, especially on camera where it's documented. Now, after the show was over, I ran into every individual office and I was like, guys, he absolutely said the F word. But I didn't want people to know that I snitched. So on the air, I did not snitch. All right, Joe, we're going to do an alternating mock draft. Let me see here. I think I got it pulled up real proper like. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen again. I should be good at this by now. I hit the button enough. Share the screen, mock simulator. And we're going to see what happens. This is going to be tough because I'm going to have to Google while doing it. Like I don't have a needs list in front of me for all these stupid teams.
I feel that. Can I tell you why I wanted to do this though? Like why I find joy in this idea of doing it to 20? It's because I'll be honest with you, this draft is weird. And I do think that like, it's really easy. Like I had a mock draft. You come out yesterday, right? It's really easy to be able to.
The mock draft was it another bad one or was it a good one?
You tell me. I took Reuben Bain at 12 and Avion Terrell at 20.
That was one of the greatest mock drafts I've ever heard in my life, Joe.
I mean, and I think that we can talk more about it. I think there's a lot of potential for their interest to lie there. I had Jermod McCoy the first 2 times in my mock drafts, and I don't think I'll be doing that anymore. Just based on things I've heard. So I think that would be kind of a way that I could see them going about it. And also, if you look at what Shotty said at corner, I think they want someone more slot oriented if they're going to go high. Anyways.
Well, okay. Well, Terrell, let's get it. Terrell, AJ, Terrell. It's the name I'll never get right. I've said it 50,000 times. AJ Terrell Owens, AJ Terrell. Yeah. Somebody told me to use the underdog simulator because you can see what people have been picking for them. And,
I like that.
Okay, so let me see. Let me make sure I have an account. I'm gonna have to hit a bunch of buttons here. Allow, make your picks. I'm logged in. Okay, but people can see my username. That doesn't mean anything bad, right? Doesn't matter.
I think you're
all
good.
right. Let's just go in the draft room and let's just not worry if this is me exposing everything to the world. A lot of people still have my phone number, and I can prove it. I bet out of the 230 people watching, one of them still has my phone number.
Yeah, we did that one time on DLS, and I was blown away at how many texts and calls you got right away.
This will obviously be a smaller situation because there aren't that many people in here, but I bet at least one of them was listening to the radio 8 years ago when I gave out my phone number for $20. MoCow, thanks for streaming, Jeff. I was bored. So was I. And then right before we started, the lady walked in, and I went, oh, I'll be with you in 30 minutes. Just make sure the dog doesn't go to the bathroom in the house. Okay, so now we need to share another screen. and we're going to alternate. And you tell me, who do you want to be? Do you want to be odds or evens? Oh, evens gets both Cowboy picks though.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
We'll flip it around. Only one of us will make
How about
each
this?
Cowboy pick. We'll
Yeah, I
figure it
like
out.
that. I like that. I like that.
So we'll start off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when we get past the Cowboy pick, we'll flip or something like that.
I like that. When we get to 12, let's flip it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work for me. I'll take number 1, Joe.
Good idea.
I'm done. How about you?
Number 2, I think is interesting. I think it's going to be one of the 2 edge rushers at the top that we've kind of poked holes in a little bit to start off the show. I'm going to go with David Bailey. I think that Aaron Glenn was at Texas Tech Pro Day, got a nice close look at him. They talked extensively. I just think that in terms, they need not only someone with a lot of talent, but they need someone who can get going right pretty quickly. And I know we kind of poked holes in that a little bit, but of those 2, I think David Bailey would be more ready to go.
Okay, so I'll be the Arizona Cardinals at number 3. The Arizona Cardinals, it says their needs here are quarterback, tackle, linebacker, interior offensive line, and edge.
They got a lot of holes.
Okay, so offensive tackle and interior offensive lineman, like that helps me lean a certain direction. But the fact that you also have edge on there, and you know what I kind of like? What are we doing here? Are we being predictive, or are we doing what you would do?
I think predictive, but also your flavor on it. If we're like, hey, I'm between these 2 guys, give me the one I would do. You know what I mean?
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I think there's a chance this pick is Francis Maui Noah. If you need a tackle and an interior offensive lineman, by God, he can do either one for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also want to be true to, because I think the draft involves a lot of different moving parts. And one of those moving parts is needs absolutely matter, and that would fit a need. But if a need, or at least this guy wouldn't be blocked from playing on my team, like I think getting as close as you can to the best player available is important in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to show you my flavor. And I'm going to pick Ruben Bain, number 3 overall.
Whoa, I love it.
Instead of Arvell Reese. And because I do think Ruben Bain, like I'll bet whatever, T-Rex arms, whatever. I think he has the best defensive tape in the entire class. Yeah. And I mean, and it's not like you have competition questions. He dominated the college football playoff. I think he's a baller. And I really like Arvell Reese. I'd love him at 12. But I'm gonna go Ruben Bain. And I don't know if that was predictive or me just wanting people to know how much I like Ruben Bain, but I'm gonna put him right there at number 3.
Well, I think it shows, yeah, it's your flavor for sure, but it could be predictive because I think one thing that happens also with like mock draft season is that like a lot of people will hear, hey, the Cardinals want an edge rusher, right? And so that's what they'll hear from people with the Cardinals or scouts, like, hey, they're talking to edge rushers. And immediately the mind goes to who the consensus mock draft top 2 edge rushers are, right?
Right.
In reality, I mean, Ruben Bain could be their favorite guy, and you don't know until they actually pick him. So I love that. I think Bain's fantastic. I'm not worried about him at all.
Joe or something. Joe Ashfar Low. Dylan Thieneman at 12 or 20, a win or a loss. I think 12 is early for me on Thieneman, and 20. Once upon a time I said I didn't want him at 20, but as I walk it down and you draw me out the top 19 picks, I think there are scenarios where I like Thieneman at 20. So Thieneman at 20, I think is good. 12 is a little bit early for me.
I feel that. I mean, I would take him number 1 because go Ducks, but we'll see. We'll see where he ends up going.
That's fair.
So we got 4 now, right? Yeah.
Yep. You're the Titans.
This is another predictive versus kind of what I think, they have a ton of interest in Jeremiah Love. That's one thing I know. I know that Jeremiah Love would be a home run for them. I think that they love him. I also, with Robert Saleh and Arvell Reese being on the board, it's hard for me to say that we don't take Arvell Reese here. So I'm going to go with Arvell Reese, but with the caveat, if you would have taken Arvell Reese, I would have taken Jeremiah Love here at 4.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
all right. So now we're going to have to figure out if we find a home for Jeremiah Love or if we run into the Cowboys situation where, let's see, this time it wouldn't be my problem because you're picking 12. But I'll tell you, if it were me, depending on how it fell, I bet I'd pick him. The New York Giants at number 5. I don't want it to happen. I do think they could take a wide receiver. I do think they could take Spencer Fano or Francis Mauigoa. I think they could take Mansour Delane, but I think and I fear, and I'm going to pick Sonny Styles to the Giants at number 5.
I like it. I think that pick is very. I think the Cowboys are going to get their heart broken in one or two ways with that pick. I think it's either going to be Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles.
Yeah.
But we'll see. 6 now, right? Browns?
Yeah, are we trading up or what?
This would be prime trade back scenario. Even Andrew Berry was quoted from the owners' meetings and saying, like, I don't think we're going to pick at 6 or it's not guaranteed. I think the wording was. I think I'm cool just keeping these picks unless you want to do a trade.
We don't have to do a trade. We can just see what happens.
Okay.
Then I'm going to run into my nightmare scenario, and I'm going to get to 12, and it's going to be your problem, so I won't care.
That's fair. I think that they're going to stick with an offensive lineman here, or they're going to take an offensive lineman in general, even if they trade back to 12. Let's go with Francis Mauigoa from Miami. I think Monroe Freeling is another candidate there.
Yeah,
I think that's the one I kind of hear that they like. But let's go with Francis.
Monroe Freeling has one big advantage in this draft, and it's if you're a believer that you want to see the guy having done what you're going to ask him to do, just the fact that he plays left tackle. We have a real weird year where the best tackles are right tackles.
Yeah.
And that's not normal, but that's what's happening this year. The Washington Commanders at 7. I think they could absolutely take a wide receiver. Actually, you know what? I am going to throw a little bit of a curveball into a mock draft because I believe that if he makes it to number 7, that this is also realistic. I say the Commanders are going to take Jeremiah Love.
Whoa.
Yep. Yeah, I did it. I think it's absolutely possible. I think it is absolutely possible. If he doesn't go 4 or 5, I think that he could end up at 7. There's ways that you can take guys that would hurt us, but I could see Love being that pick.
I think the thing with Jeremiah Love in the top 10 is that there's logical places, right? But I think it's kind of like the Jahmyr Gibbs effect a little bit where like, hey, if you have even David Montgomery already, like why would you take a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs? Well, because he's really good and he's one of the best players in the NFL now. And I think that some teams are going to have that happen with Jeremiah Love when they're on the board.
Somebody said, how about teams making trades in this mock? I'll be honest with you. I'm not all that familiar with their simulator, number 1. And number 2, I have to figure out if I'm making steak or chicken. Probably here in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So I apologize, but there will be plenty of those. Where would you guys take Rodriguez? That's another guy that I tell you one of the first words out of my mouth is I don't want him at number 20. But if I start stacking up my players, if the board goes away I don't want it to, when you get to 20, I think I would have, if I were making all the picks, Jacob Rodriguez would go in the first round. So if I would be okay at 26, should I just shut up and say I'm okay at 20? Maybe.
Maybe we'll find out.
Maybe we will find out. How about teams making trade in this mock? Now that Avion Terrell ran a slow time, does that push Chris Johnson, Cisse, Hood above him? Not for me. I know everything I need to know about Avion Terrell from watching him play football. And I think he fits perfectly as the Cowboys nickel. Chris Johnson, I love his tape, and maybe it's not fair. I haven't seen him play against NFL players, but I love the way he moves. I love the eyes he has in zone. I love that he's willing to be physical despite the size. I love him a lot. I like Colton Hood a lot. I think he might be the best press man corner in this draft. He's super physical. I think that's good. Cisse, I'm a little bit lower on than all those guys, but no, now I have to start from Terrell Owens, Avion Terrell. I would still have Terrell above. Okay, where are we? It's your pick at number 8, or it's my pick at number 8?
It's my pick at number 8. Who's 8? Is it New Orleans?
8 is the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, Carnell Tate. They get another weapon for Kellen Moore. You get 2 Ohio State guys in Olave and Tate. I think Carnell Tate is going to be the first receiver taken off the board.
God, this sucks. The Chiefs just lost multiple starting corners, right?
They did.
Yeah. William says this is the worst case scenario. CP's driving this bus and they won't take an offensive player, no matter if best player. We'll see about that. The Rokarich, excellent content as always, Jeffrey and Joe. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that's in Super Chat and everybody that signed up to be a member now that memberships are turned on. You want 4 stupid cartoon emojis of my face? sign up to be a member. I also have a Discord channel that I invite you to if you're a member, and you get a little badge next to your name. It's a little blue star that's not copyright infringement because I told ChatGPT, can you please tweak this until it's not a trademark violation, please? And it said, we got you. I'm the Kansas City Chiefs at number 9. Kansas City Chiefs at number 9. Could be Downs. Could be a wide receiver for sure. Could be.
Yeah.
But I also think Carnell Tate is the most Chiefy wide receiver. Jordan Tyson is actually my top receiver on film. There's just so much now about hamstrings and injury history, and his game does have some inconsistencies, but I think just on straight tape, I did like him better than Tate and Lemon. And I think Cooper from Indiana is right in the mix with all of them, by the way.
I agree.
But because of my questions, sucks for me. Mansour Delane is going number 9 overall to the Kansas City Chiefs. So,
Yeah.
Joe, you are up on the Cincinnati Bengals, and you're going to crush another freaking dream. I know you are. I know you are. Chad,
100%.
who are we going to end up with at 12? I want a prediction now. But Joe,
This is not good.
Dream.
This is not good for the Cowboys. And honestly, I think right now is when you're the Cowboys saying we will give up 92 to go get 10. 12 and 92 to go get 10. You know,
and the hard part about that call is if they were to stay and pick and we're going to pick the guy that you're coming up for, they might still tell you no. Like, actually, no, thanks for calling, but I know that you want the guy we want, and we're just going to take the guy that we want.
Yep. So they're going to, let's just say they decline that trade and they come down and they take Caleb Downs.
Womp, womp. And here we are. We're drawing up the exact scenario. Miami Dolphins at number 11. Let me see. Oh, yeah, we're going to end up. I know where we're going to end up. So for the Miami Dolphins, I am actually going to go wide receiver or Spencer Fano if you need interior offensive line. Jermod McCoy is possible and maybe the one that the Cowboys are cheering against the most at this point. So now all the mock drafts that were just throwing McCoy to the Cowboys because they didn't know what else to do at 12, even before we saw him move, might end up accurate. I am going to give the Miami Dolphins Jordan Tyson number 11.
There's that Allen Eagle bias. Allen Eagle bias.
Don't worry about all that. The dude's got a little bit of that. I think the first guy that I felt this way about on tape, he's got a little bit of the Odell Beckham to him. Where just the way that he moves, it's hell to stay in front of him. And he's too big to be able to move like that. But whether it's getting off a press or the way that he separates in routes because of his ability to move that way, like the way you may picture basketball players while they're handling the ball, guys that have handles with crossovers and stuff like that. Jordan Tyson can go up and get it. He's got those sorts of moves. He's got nothing after the catch. But he's a good separator. He can go up and get it. I think he's the one receiver in this draft that, if all things align, could be somebody's number 1 wide receiver. I don't think there's another number 1 in this class. And I think he has the potential. He could also bust. But so he's going number 11, and the Cowboys are on the clock, and the names that are gone are Mendoza, Bailey, Bain, Reese, Styles, Maui, Noah, Love, Tate, Delane, Downs, Tyson, and you're on the clock. Enjoy, Joe.
Yeah, this is nightmare scenario. If you didn't trade up, you're trying to trade back now. And I think that you're in a tough spot. I don't think they would take Jermod McCoy here, which is probably the highest guy on the consensus board left. That makes sense. I know the offensive stuff is there, but with Jeremiah Love and multiple receivers gone, I still don't see them taking an offensive lineman for the 25th year in a row in the first round. So I'm going to go with a guy who's just a good player, and I think they're going to just call it a dub, and a guy that could be an instant impact guy. Give me Akeem Mesidor at number 12. Ooh. It's high for Akeem Mesidor, but I think at this point you got to get someone who can play in a position of need, and I think they really, really, really want another edge rusher. So
I do think that somebody in the chat said that I don't hate the Mesidor pick there. I think if I'm picking a defensive player, it's between him and Avion Terrell for me.
And that's who I'd be targeting at 20.
And it feels early for both of them, but all you can do is draft from the guys in front of you. And out of there. And I mean, I guess technically I would have taken Jermod McCoy. But yeah, and they do want pass rush too. The other first round graded players I have left both play offense, which I would still pick them. The Cowboys won't. At 13, I'm going to do for the LA Rams.
Or are we switching now? Are we switching?
Yeah, we can switch now. We can switch now. Do you want to know who I was going to take for him?
Yeah.
I was going to take Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah, that's what I was going to take too. So.
Okay, so it worked out great. We tag teamed it, but it was technically you. Mekhi Lemon to the Rams to play with as soon as he gets out of rehab, Puka Nacua.
I think they have some. I think they have some concerns about Puka on a long-term future, and obviously that makes sense. But yeah.
Well, and I also think that Devontae Adams was a weird one last year because he caught a bunch of touchdowns. But if you care about the down in and down out, and if you care about like separation stats, which I do, he's washed.
Yeah,
he's still got it in the red zone, but I think they are looking for a different guy to be the second best receiver. And you have to have concerns about Puka. Like, I don't say stuff out loud that's reckless too often into a mic, at least not real life reckless. But like Puka, as soon as some weird audio and video stuff started coming out, I was like, oh no, something's up in that dude's life. Like there's something off kilter here. And so hopefully it's not off kilter when he's done doing whatever he's doing. If something becomes unplugged, it's because my dog just walked in. Oh, she walked out. Okay, we're good. Baltimore Ravens at 14. Receiver, interior line. I think Fano at 14 is good value. I wish I had their depth chart in front of me. Like, how big is the interior O-line need? Because McCoy maybe, well, it's my two top-rated players. So I will give them, let's go with no projection, the no doubt guard. I'm going to give him Vega Ioane.
I love him.
At 14.
I love him.
Yeah. He's such a good player. We're out of opportunities to pick guards.
Would you rather have him or Tyler Booker?
As a prospect, maybe Ioane by a hair. But now that I've seen Booker as a rookie, I would say Booker.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Booker's fantastic. I was just kind of curious because I think as a prospect, I might go Ioane too.
I think I have them. In each class, I bet I had both of them somewhere as like prospect 15 to 18, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So similar, but I'd probably say I had very little doubt about Booker. I have maybe no doubt about Vega. Am I doing it right? Ioane?
I think you're right.
I have no doubt about him. And I don't have any doubt about Tyler Booker anymore either, but I may have initially. So 15 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll highlight needs for you. They say receiver, D-line, edge, linebacker, corner. That's what they say.
I'm gonna do a curveball. They lost Mike Evans. I know they have a ton of receivers. Like that was a part of the reason that if they lose Mike Evans, it's fine. But I just can't see them not being tempted by the idea of replacing Mike Evans with a Mike Evans style receiver in Denzel Boston. So let's just throw a curveball and go Denzel Boston.
I like it. 6'4", big guy, but also has some pretty good feet for a guy that size. I like what you've done there. The New York Jets at 16, and they've already picked one. So who did they pick before? They picked an edge guy.
Yeah.
And so now at 16, we're not taking a quarterback. We're not doing that. I'll pick it off my board. I have one first round player left. Wait, did I already give him away? Am I drunk? No? Where'd Fano go?
I think no. Did you get him away?
He's listed as a tackle. They're not showing guys that aren't in the need area if I click needs. Okay, that's what's happening. So if I unhighlight crap, then I get everybody. I'm going to give the Jets Spencer Fano to play guard for them. That's what I'm going to do.
I like it. They go interior and on both sides. Or, I mean, they go line on both sides, and I think that's probably a good place to start.
Yeah. And somebody in the chat, I don't remember if I brought this back up or not. I meant to, and then I might not have. But again, I never remember the things I've said. But somebody in the chat before the Cowboys picked at 11 said that they could see the Dolphins going offensive line. And I actually agree with that. I was listening to, I believe, NFL Stock Exchange, and they were talking about how every time you have a new regime come in and you look at who their first draft pick is, just go back and look at it. It's almost always an offensive lineman or a trench player. And so I probably should have gave the Dolphins an offensive lineman, but we're past that. The Detroit Lions are on the clock.
Detroit Lions. What does it say their needs are?
Running back, offensive tackle, edge, linebacker, cornerback. Oh yeah, because Dan Campbell's talking about moving Penei Sewell to the left side. So offensive tackle could be one, corner, linebacker, edge, running back is what they say.
I think that if Jermod McCoy is going to go to a place, it's a place that could be patient just in case things don't work out. And I'll say this too. I think Jermod McCoy, if he was healthy, I think you could take him as cornerback one.
Yeah.
And I also think he could slip into day two if, some concerns are, legit. So, but I think Dan Campbell's a guy that likes talent. They have a little bit more patience. Let's give him Jermod McCoy.
Jermod McCoy off the board at 17. Minnesota Vikings are up at number 18. Show me the needs, baby. Oh, I guess I'll do what everybody's doing. Wide receiver, D-line, edge, linebacker, safety. I don't know. It feels kind of lazy, honestly. It feels kind of lazy.
Hey, just do it. Just do it.
Do it?
Just do it.
All right. For no particular reason other than just quality safety player and then quality safety prospect, I'm going to give Dylan Thieneman to the Minnesota Vikings to replace whatever safety they're losing.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's no connection. No
idea. Echo, by the way, said Terrell Owens Terrell. Avion Terrell's first name is pronounced AVU.
No. It's pronounced Achan. It's Achan Terrell.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And Showtime said, when's the best place to look for linebacker? 20 or 92? Linebacker's kind of deep, right? I do think the linebacker group is there's quality stuff in the linebacker group beyond number 20. But my prediction is the Cowboys won't pick at 12 and 20. Some kind of moving will happen. And if you ended up with a second round pick, I think you could end up having some fun with some linebackers. 19 is you, because we flipped. Carolina Panthers. They say all offensive line, linebacker, corner, safety.
Yeah, let's give them, if safety's it, because I think I've given them more D-line-ish kind of guys. I think I've given them Keldrick Falk and TJ Parker. And Keldrick Falk, I feels like a guy that we on the outside don't want to put this high, but he would. But let's have some fun. Let's give him Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. Let's give him a just standout, versatile piece that they can do a lot of things with.
All right, you're putting me at number 20, and I'm going to take Monroe Freeling so that we can. We're going to just so Guyton doesn't have to start. He can kind of.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm not actually taking him.
Oh God.
Kenyon Sadiq should be considered. Peter Woods is not impossible here. Omar Cooper Jr. should be considered. Despite what everyone wants, I will not take C.J. Allen. I also will not take Jacob Rodriguez. I also will not take Anthony Hill. I will not take any of them because I proclaim from atop Mount Jeffrey that Avion Terrell is a perfect fit to be the Cowboys nickel, despite the fact that he may not be prototype size for what you want. You want to force turnovers. You want to be physical while being able to cover. Hell, you want somebody that if somebody who plays outside got hurt could go out there and handle that job too. It's my guy, Terrell Owens. Avion Terrell at number 20. And then I'm going to learn how to pronounce his name without having to go T.O. first.
They need a Jordan Lewis replacement. They sorely lacked it last year badly. They need someone who's got that dog in him. And for lack of a better term, Avion Terrell or Achan Terrell, as we're joking, he's got that dog in him and he's feisty, man. And he's someone that like wasn't super highly recruited and came in and started day one at Clemson and played for 3 straight years as a starter for him.
He got that hot dog in him.
Now this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog too.
And despite the 40 time, he does not have that. Wait, what kind of animal was Jerry talking about?
Ducks.
I was going to say turtle. He's talking about ducks.
When the ducks quack, feed them.
All right, Joe, have yourself a great day. I appreciate you popping on with me. Now I got to go out here and see if I'm in trouble.
All right. It's good seeing you, Jeff.
All right. Love you, buddy. How do I stop
Later.
sharing the screen so that people can see the beauty of our full faces before I leave? Why do I always forget how? It's down there. There it is. And then I do this. Boom, boom. All right. See you, Joe. Appreciate
Later.
you. Everybody, remember, you have no idea what anybody's going through. Be cool to everybody. We love you. Be easy.